The greatest women's tennis player of all time just dropped a bombshell that nobody saw coming. After nearly 4 years away from professional tennis, Serena Williams is walking back onto the court next week. But here's the twist that has everyone scratching their heads. She's not coming back to chase another Grand Slam title. She's not trying to break any records, and she's openly admitting she doesn't even need to win. So why is a 44-year-old legend with absolutely nothing left to prove suddenly lacing up her sneakers again? The answer might completely change how you look at retirement, legacy, and what it really means to walk away from something you love. Here's what we know so far. Serena Williams will officially return to competitive tennis at the HSBC Championships at Queen's Club in London starting Monday. This marks her first WTA Tour appearance since her emotional farewell at the 2022 US Open, the tournament where she famously said she was evolving away from tennis, a phrase that felt poetic then and seems almost prophetic now. But here's where things get genuinely interesting. Just a few months ago, in December, Serena shut down comeback rumors hard. She posted on social media, and I'm paraphrasing here, but not by much, "OMG y'all, I'm not coming back." That was pretty definitive, right? And yet, here we are. So what changed between December and now? According to reports, Serena re-entered the International Tennis Anti-Doping Testing Pool months ago, which is basically the official signal that an athlete is preparing to compete again. She kept that quiet. She let everyone believe she was done. And then, in a coordinated social media blast with Nike and the tournament organizers, she dropped the news that Queen's Club would be the stage for her return. The tennis world collectively lost its mind, and honestly, so did I. But before you start imagining Serena storming through the singles draw and adding a 24th major to her trophy case, pump the brakes, because this comeback looks nothing like what you're expecting. Serena is playing doubles only at this tournament. That's right, no singles. She's teaming up with a 19-year-old Canadian player named Victoria Mboko. And if that name doesn't ring a bell, you're not alone. Mboko was born after Serena had already won 7 major singles titles. Let that sink in for a moment. When Serena was collecting Grand Slams in the early 2000s, her current doubles partner hadn't even been born yet. That's not a knock on Mboko. She's actually incredibly talented, ranked 9th in the world in singles, and she won the Canadian Open last summer. But the age gap here is genuinely wild to think about. So who exactly is Victoria Mboko? According to interviews, she's been practicing with Serena in Florida over the winter and early spring. And get this, she says they text each other regularly. Imagine being 19 years old and having Serena Williams in your phone contacts. I can't even get my dentist to text me back about an appointment. Mboko has been understandably thrilled about the partnership, posting on Instagram with the caption, "The Queen is back," alongside a photo from Queen's Club. She told reporters that Serena is hitting great and that her ball striking is so clean she could take years off and just step back on the court like nothing happened. That's either the highest compliment imaginable or the most terrifying thing for everyone else on tour. Speaking of practice footage, and this is where the hype train really starts rolling, video clips from Serena's first practice session at Queen's Club this week basically broke the internet. In the footage, she's moving across the court like she never left. Her signature backhand looks as lethal as ever. The ball striking is crisp, the footwork is there, and honestly, she looks like she's having fun. And that last part might actually be the key to understanding this entire comeback. Let me share something Serena said during her news conference at Queen's Club that genuinely stopped me in my tracks. A reporter asked her why she's coming back, and her answer was surprisingly simple. She said, and I quote, "Well, why not?" For a lack of a better explanation. Think about that for a second. After 4 years away, after 23 major titles, after becoming arguably the most dominant athlete in the history of any sport, her reason for coming back is basically, why not? That's not arrogance, that's freedom. That's someone who has absolutely nothing to prove and everything to enjoy. But she didn't stop there. She went on to say something that I think a lot of retired athletes probably feel, but rarely admit out loud. She said, "I don't need to win. I've won more than most people have in their whole lives, so it's not that important to me." She said she has to keep reminding herself of that because she has nothing to lose and everything to gain. That's a completely different mindset from the Serena we watched for 2 decades, the one who smashed rackets, stared down opponents, and refused to accept anything less than victory. This version of Serena is playing for joy, and honestly, that might be even more dangerous for her opponents. Here's my take on this. We've seen legendary athletes attempt comebacks before. Michael Jordan came back to play for the Wizards, Tom Brady unretired, actually multiple times, but those comebacks were driven by competition, by the hunger to win, by the obsession with being the best. Serena's comeback seems to be driven by something else entirely. According to her interview with Nike, she said, "I just want to have fun. I want to travel and I want to enjoy myself. Every time I watched a tournament, I missed it. I missed the atmosphere, I missed the court." She's coming back because she loves tennis, not because she needs another trophy, not because she's chasing Margaret Court's record, not because anyone expects anything from her, just because she genuinely missed playing. And there's another layer to this that I think is really important. Serena has 2 children now, and she said this return gives them a chance to watch her play, especially during the summer while they're out of school. Imagine being a kid and watching your mom, the greatest tennis player who ever lived, compete on the biggest stages in the world. That's not just a comeback, that's a legacy moment. That's creating memories that will outlast any championship. Now let's talk about what's next, because this is where things get really speculative in the best way possible. It was announced that Serena will also play doubles at the Berlin Tennis Open later this month. Her partner for that event hasn't been named yet. And beyond that, everyone is asking the same question. Will she play Wimbledon? The tournament starts June 29th, and as a former champion, securing a wildcard entry shouldn't be an issue. She's won Wimbledon 7 times in singles and 6 times in doubles with her sister Venus. The thought of the Williams sisters teaming up again at the All England Club is the kind of story that makes sports so unforgettable.
When asked about playing singles again, Serena kept the door open. She said, quote, "I can't say no right now. I feel like I probably need to train a little bit more if I want to play singles, and we will see if I get there. And if not, that's not my journey right now." So singles isn't off the table, it's just not the priority. She's taking this one step at a time, one tournament at a time. And honestly, that's probably the smartest approach she could take. Let me go back to something Serena wrote in her Vogue essay back in 2022 when she announced she was stepping away. She said something that really stuck with me. She wrote, "If I were a guy, I wouldn't be writing this because I'd be out there playing and winning while my wife was doing the physical labor of expanding our family." She talked about how male athletes like Tom Brady could keep playing while their wives handled pregnancy and childcare. She pointed out the double standard that rarely gets discussed in sports. And now, here she is, proving that women can do the same thing. They just have to fight harder for the opportunity. Alicia Parks, who is currently ranked 79th in the world, practiced with Serena multiple times a week in Florida during the winter. She told reporters that Serena is in great shape and said she thinks Serena would kill it on tour. That's not just polite praise. That's a current professional player who has seen Serena up close recently and came away impressed. Practice footage from March went viral, showing Serena moving and hitting with the kind of effortless power that made her a legend in the first place. But here's the question that nobody can answer yet. How long will this last? Is this a victory lap disguised as a comeback? Is Serena going to play a few tournaments, soak up the applause, and then ride off into the sunset again? Or is she genuinely building towards something bigger? Maybe one last singles run at Wimbledon or even the US Open. She's 44 years old. No woman has won a Grand Slam singles title at that age in the Open era. The record is held by Martina Navratilova, who won Wimbledon at 33. So Serena would be defying not just her opponents, but basically the entire history of the sport if she even made a deep run. And you know what? I wouldn't bet against her. That's not blind fandom, that's just acknowledging that Serena Williams has made a career out of doing things that were supposed to be impossible. She won the Australian Open while pregnant. She came back from a pulmonary embolism that could have ended her career. She's been counted out more times than most athletes face in a lifetime, and every single time she proved everyone wrong. Her first match is Tuesday against Nicole Melichar Martinez and Erin Routliffe. It's the last match of the day on Andy Murray Arena, scheduled for approximately 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Victoria Mboko will be right there with her. And win or lose, that match is going to feel like a celebration because Serena Williams isn't coming back to prove anything. She's coming back because she wants to. And honestly, that might be the most powerful version of Serena Williams we've ever seen. There are still so many unanswered questions. Will she and Venus team up at Wimbledon? Will she eventually play singles again? How will her body hold up after 4 years away from the grind of professional tennis? Is this a one-week thing, a one-month thing, or the beginning of a longer farewell tour? Serena herself probably doesn't have all those answers yet, and that's okay. For now, we just get to watch her play tennis again, and that alone feels like a gift. Let me leave you with this. Serena Williams has 23 Grand Slam singles titles, 14 major doubles titles, 4 Olympic gold medals, and enough records to fill an entire library. She has nothing to prove to anyone, and yet here she is at 44 years old, lacing up her sneakers, stepping back onto the grass at Queen's Club, and playing for the sheer joy of it. That's not a comeback story about winning, that's a comeback story about loving something so much that you can't stay away. And in a world where athletes are often reduced to their statistics and their trophies, maybe that's the most human reason of all. According to reports, Serena plans to take this one tournament at a time. She's not making any promises about Wimbledon or the US Open or anything beyond this week in London. But she's here, she's back, and no matter what happens next, we're all just lucky to watch.